we'll take the tangent, we'll take it to the side, and we'll say the signs of the demonic.
Oh yeah, is that what we were talking about
from
an hour
like
ago or
15
something?
minutes ago?
Yeah, it came up at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fulton Sheen, he gives actually many signs of the demonic, but he gives three main signs. The first is love of nudity. Okay, but before we really get there, so the devil always twists. He takes something that's good, he takes a truth, and he twists it into a half-truth, a half-lie. And if you remember the movie Lawrence of Arabia, there's a great line where someone's accused of being a liar. And it's Claude Rains, and Claude Rains says, yeah, I'm a liar, which means I've hidden the truth. But you tell half lies, which means you've forgotten where you put it. A half lie is much more dangerous than a full lie. So the devil always twists things. So the first sign is love of nudity. So the human body is good. Like St. John Paul II, he spoke so highly of it, wrote so beautifully about it. And the devil twists that. So Garden of Eden, they were naked and unashamed, and then they fall, and then they have to be clothed. There's lust in their hearts. Now they have to be clothed. There's got to be some kind of defense there. And our Lord will take us back to that purity, but through the cross, through the flaming sword that guards paradise. And the devil says, no cross. I'll take you there myself. Oh, but it's going to be to his demonic version of the Garden of Eden, which is the pornography, the eroticism, all those things that are eating away our culture today. So that's the first sign of the demonic. The second sign is violence. And again, this is a twist also. So Fulton Sheen, he calls it the sword. There's a good sword, the sword pointed inward, crucifying our hearts to make them Christ-like. So, crucifying the lust out and everything we said about the first sign. When we don't do that, when we don't want to be Christ-like, we will turn that sword outward and will crucify everything else to be like us. Which again is a twist. Like either we're made in the image and likeness of God, and that's amazing, or we try to make everything in our image after our likeness. So you see people marching the streets, but they won't do anything to change their own lives. You see people who want to change church teachings. Why don't the church do this? Why doesn't the church do that? Oh, change church teaching, like do violence to church teachings, do violence to Christ to make it more like you? You've made God, you've made your religion in an image and likeness of you? That's not a good God, not a salvific God. So, okay. Second sign of the demonic. And then the third sign, Fulton Sheen, he calls it something different like every time, but one of the things he calls it is a schizophrenic mentality, which is kind of funny because he's like schizophrenic in his labeling of his schizophrenic mentality. It's not schizophrenia. Some people get angry like, Father Dave, are you saying everyone with schizophrenia is demonic? No, I'm not saying that. But it is interesting, the mental illness that's most like demonic possession, hardest to distinguish between demonic possession, is schizophrenia. Like there's something there. But what's going on, it's loss of identity. So again, we're made in the image and likeness of God. And when we lose that, we go out in all directions looking for ourselves, trying to find some identity. Like nowadays, they say there's 150 genders. Like that's schizophrenic. We've gone nuts. And we're losing lots of identity, which gets into boundaries. You lose boundaries, you lose identity. What is marriage anymore? What is the Eucharist? What's this? What's that? That's all a sign of the demonic.